What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 17 of the Screen Team podcast. My name is Gus.
I'm Alex.
I'm Sal.
And we're the Screen Team. Today we are going to be talking about Onward and The Way Back. First off, want to apologize that we didn't have an episode last week.
Did not.
Coronavirus
craziness.
It definitely
why.
wasn't that.
Definitely not why.
Yeah, just school
That's
project.
why you might not
so.
have. Well, we'll see what time.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
there's a lot of delay in movies, so I don't
Yeah,
know
so-
if we're gonna have movies.
So yeah,
tomorrow.
I guess housekeeping before we get into the movies. A lot of the movies that I guess
They're
we
coming up.
would be watching are getting delayed significantly.
yeah,
So-
like Mulan was a big one, man. I was so excited for Mulan.
I was more excited for A Quiet Place.
Quiet Place
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah,
That's the
so a
one
lot
I'm
of
most excited about.
movies that we were planning on watching are going to be getting delayed. So as far as what the podcast might hold, we kind of
Old
just have to, we might have to just watch a little bit of older movies in the meantime. But we'll see. I mean,
Frozen 2's on Disney Plus.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah, because
I
we
just saw
don't
it.
really know. I mean,
You saw it? Oh, you just saw. I thought you saw the.
No, I did see it. Well, I was like half asleep, but whatever.
oh, okay. But yeah, so we pretty much don't know what's going to be happening as far as if movies are still going to get delayed or if they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Let's start releasing them. I don't know. So it's just kind of a weird situation, but just a heads up going forward. But let's go ahead and start talking about, we'll start with The Way Back because I feel like we'll have more
Sure.
to talk about with
What?
Onward.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. I agree.
Really?
I agree.
I
Yeah.
think it'd be about the same.
Let's get the way back out of the way.
Really? You think I feel like you're making it seem like
It was
like
ch-
Onward more than
it was
Level
a chore.
Chelsea.
The
Way
way back.
Back?
The way back was a chore. for
You didn't
me.
like it?
No, it was very boring.
Hmm.
It was very
Really?
boring, yeah.
Okay, so I'm
No
going to be honest.
way.
I did fall asleep in the beginning, but I had
In the
work.
beginning, so that means
Yeah,
that means it had little to do with the movie and more to
yeah,
do
it
with
was, it was more that I was just really tired than it was the movie being
Mm.
boring. Because once I woke up, I was like actually pretty invested in like the story.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because like since the coronavirus is gone and we don't have basketball, so I was actually kind of
yeah.
like
Uh,
hyped up about some of the
Basketball
games.
Finally, something.
Yeah.
that's fine.
What are you talking about?
but yeah, I was just really tired,
My-
so I did fall
I'll-
asleep
I'll
for
go
I
with
don't even know how long.
My biggest criticism about this movie was that it felt like two half movies put in one. Like it was half a basketball movie. I almost wanted to have either more basketball or it was like half a story of him being an alcoholic. But it wasn't like a full story of him being an alcoholic. It was like half and half. Like they should have gone with one storyline and just done it more.
I
Because it
think-
just felt like it was two half movies in one. It was
I guess I
No,
know what you're
I
saying,
think-
but
I
didn't
think
work.
is that you want more basketball. I
either
think
one.
it wasn't about basketball.
Either one.
It was about him being alcoholic.
I thought it was gonna be
Period.
more about him being an alcoholic.
It was more. It was all.
It
most
was
about him.
It was a lot about basketball, but they didn't even show most of the games. It was just like they would show the score. They didn't even show him with the team as much. Like I wanted more basketball or him like talking about him drinking.
There was a lot in this movie about his alcoholism.
Sure, there was,
Yeah.
but like when he
So
stopped
it was
drinking,
More, it was more that.
when he stopped drinking, we don't even know if he stopped drinking.
He started
They didn't even show it. Like they
well,
kind of just showed
Yeah,
him
they did.
stop drinking, and then it was like him with the basketball team. But they didn't really go into whether he stopped drinking
He
or not.
he
I
went.
think
He
that
drove
was
to the.
heavily implied.
He
for
drove to
sure.
the bar and then he
stopped.
left.
Yeah, he left. Yeah.
That kind of showed he kind of stopped for a while.
Sure, but
Yeah.
they kind of just put it on pause almost. It was like they just put it on pause. They didn't even reference it or anything, and they just went to like basketball and him coaching
Mm.
basketball.
Why
Until-
didn't he put
until he had his
subtitles? Oh, he
downfall.
stopped drinking. I'm confused.
No, just showing him like a little bit struggling more with him not drinking, or maybe how he's improving. Now
Well,
that he's not
I
drinking,
think-
they just
I think it was
left it.
the way you said it. They put it on pause. That's perfect because for any alcoholic, like
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is. It was
Yeah.
put on pause. It wasn't. He didn't stop.
yeah.
He really didn't stop.
Yeah, I wanted
So,
I wanted more of the alcohol.
Yeah,
I
and
wanted,
also like I think especially when he was telling the guy, the like star player on the team, like about like why he stopped playing basketball and him being involved with basketball again is showing that basketball was a really big part of his life, that like actually like was his escapism or whatever. And so him being a coach now was like everything he needed in that time to be like better person, right? But when obviously like he saw like the kid in the hospital and everything. And
Yeah.
like
So he
that was
cracked.
his trigger, and like
Yeah.
he cracked and
He
went back to
into
his
it.
old ways. And yeah, and then also at the very end where he had mentioned to the kid that he had never really picked up a basketball since then.
Mhm.
And
When he
then
picked
at
up
the end in
basketball.
rehab, he was shooting around while the team was.
You know
I
what?
do wish that they would have mentioned if the team would have won or something.
Yeah.
But it was
I
just.
don't think so.
Like they didn't
It-
even go.
it
full
didn't
on
really need it either.
Basketball.
They
yeah.
would. Wait, it was based on a true story.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Why I'm always falling for this? Why do I always feel like it's based on a true story?
I was wondering the same as well, but I feel like they would have said some. But I guess they didn't really say
I
anything
thought
about.
it was for
Honey
some
Boy.
reason. Like I thought the school's real and
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
they had like dates. Like it was. I don't know. Why am I always falling for this?
I mean, it felt like a pretty realistic story. Like it felt very, very possible. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
like
and it was
this
just so unimpactful. Everything was just kind of like it was too boring.
I feel like you were in a bad mood that day, dude.
No, no, I don't think I was.
You were in a bad mood.
Nah, it was just a little boring for me. Slow. It was very, very slow, and nothing really happened. Like there was a few big events, like the basketball game that they won. That was exciting. When they actually showed and they beat the #1 team.
Mhm.
And then when he went back into his alcoholism, and he went off the rails, broke into the house, like those were the biggest moments in that movie,
Mhm.
and they weren't even that impactful. They were just kind of like
Wait, have you seen Birdman?
boring.
Do you like Birdman?
Yeah, I really like.
You know that that scene where they're just talking about like, oh, you know, it's boring. Like people just want excitement and explosion. Like I feel like you're that
Yeah.
person, dude. Like what are you talking about? Like
Unless it's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
all right. where they just talk and talk.
Yeah, good dialogue.
No,
yeah.
but then
There's
Quentin Tarantino do that, but then out of nowhere, like someone's head gets blown
Yeah.
off, you know.
Yeah.
So Alex still needs something to happen. Yeah, like, that's not.
For
That's actually
sure.
another example of what Alex.
For sure, I need.
Yeah.
excitement.
So
I need a movie to move me. Didn't move me.
I mean,
It didn't.
I thought it was.
I thought the game
I thought it was more grounded. I feel like you
Very grounded.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
grounded,
very
realistic, and so
Yeah.
as far as like they were a really bad team, and then he made them into a
Yeah.
good team. Like they beat
Yeah.
the best team that they lost by 30. That's really hard
Yeah.
to do.
I think
That's not anything to do.
some of my favorite moments in this movie, where it was when people were calling him out on his alcoholism. Like the first moment where his sister is asking about his drinking and he gets pissed off.
Yeah.
That was really good. It was like real tension there.
Mhm.
And then when he gets fired, that was real. I love that moment when they confront him and they tell him like,
Mhm.
you know, you smell like alcohol and you know you're off the team. Those are really good moments for me. But everything else was just kind of just a chore. I was just like, oh man, I'm trying to get through this movie, man. It was so
I
slow.
think I don't feel the same way, but I do get where you're coming from. But it did feel like a really like possible movie, like. And I think
it's
you-
possible, yeah.
I forgot
Like,
what
real.
movie you said that about recently.
The love story.
Oh yeah,
one
the
was-
photograph.
Yeah, it reminded
Yeah.
me of the
Oh, the
photograph.
photograph.
Yeah,
That's what
because
reminded me of the
the
photograph,
photograph you said also that like it felt like you're just watching real life, and that's
Yeah.
not exciting to you.
I
And-
want to watch that. I want to go to the movies.
I mean, you want to see Godzilla? I get it.
I
but
want to see some excitement.
Like, I think
And yeah,
you're still a kid, dude. It's because you're still a kid.
just don't like
but-
being bored in the movies.
But yeah, like what you mentioned though is about him being confronted about it. Like all the scenes that were about that, it's definitely felt real. And like I mean, like most alcoholics will get like very upset when you bring it up or
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
try to confront them about it. So I think it was very believable. And I do like Ben Affleck's
yes,
performance.
I love Ben Affleck, dude. I love him.
Um,
Every time I see him, he has such a good presence on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, his acting was good. His acting's always good. I've never seen him like in a bad movie.
So he's definitely been- yeah. Gigi Lee. But yeah.
You spoke too soon there. You spoke way too soon.
I didn't really
Yeah,
watch that
he
one.
didn't really
I
think
saw
about
pieces of it. and it's just a
Daredevil?
bad movie.
Daredevil. I love him in Daredevil.
I like Daredevil
Good
too.
age.
Mm.
I
I was
just
at a
think
good
the
age when
movie
I saw
was.
that movie.
I just thought the movie was like the graphics weren't great in Daredevil.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was
It
a
was
kid.
low budget.
I was loving those graphics.
It was low budget, but whatever.
But yeah, it's not based on a true story. I looked it up.
What am I,
It's
blind?
based on real events, but like
Really?
inspired by real events,
What
but
is?
not based on the movie. The Way Back.
Did you look it up right now?
Yeah. I
Oh,
was
you
looking-
see, I knew it. I knew it.
So it was
Yeah, there you
inspired
go.
by
So-
real events, but it wasn't a true story.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's still
so
a work of fiction.
The
They-
point is they couldn't bring in Godzilla if it's inspired by a true story, dude. Like You can't go too crazy if it's based on a true
I
story.
don't need him to go crazy. I just need him a little more excitement.
Oh my god.
Because I don't like being bored.
I thought there's other good parts. I thought the part like, again, there are conversations, but you just have. I mean, you just have to get invested in the conversation. The conversation we had with his ex-wife every single time. Those are deep and like kind of stressful. Like,
Yeah.
like you're like, what happened, you know, and you realize that they lost a kid.
Did
he
they
never talked about his kid? And
Yeah, did they mention that in like the beginning? Cause
They didn't.
they
No.
didn't. Okay, so like I must have seen like when they first like really talked about it then, right?
Yeah.
Cause I must have fallen asleep within the first like 20 minutes or something.
Mm.
Cause I didn't even see when he first became the coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
like I was awake for like good like 5-10 minutes at the
So you
beginning.
didn't see he's always drinking. Like, he was drinking the whole, like, the first 20 minutes.
No,
He was always
Yeah.
drinking.
I saw like he went to go visit his sister, right?
Yeah.
Like that was like in the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And like he had that conversation with her, and then I saw him getting like taken home from the bar. But then I don't remember at what point I fell asleep.
Yeah.
But I woke up and it was like I think they had already played their first game.
So the fact that you fell asleep says a lot.
No, it doesn't. I'm literally telling you, I was just really tired. Like
Sure,
I had
yeah.
been up since 5 a.m. I
First in the
worked.
beginning, not in the end.
Then I had to also
If this was Godzilla, you wouldn't have fell
stream.
asleep.
I probably would. I fall asleep during
I mean,
that
I
if I'm
can-
tired.
Does it? I don't know.
Nah,
But-
it was just too slow for me. It was just
Yeah.
not a good investment of the 2 hours that I sat there watching that movie.
Damn.
Yeah, my girlfriend didn't like it either. She thought it was really slow, especially the beginning. We were talking about how the beginning was like super slow. It took a really long time to take off, and she wanted to see way more basketball.
Well-
She all she cared about was the basketball, and then every time they showed him, his side of the story, it was kind of like boring to her, and she just wanted to see the kids play.
I felt like the beginning, like you said, the first 20 minutes. I mean, it wasn't like the movie wasn't exciting. Again, it wasn't Godzilla. I don't know why I keep saying this. But the first 20 minutes, they were
Just
showing how much he
establishing
drank. Like
how he was an
I
alcoholic.
was invested right away
I
because
like
of all
that.
how much he was drinking.
I like that. I didn't think the beginning was that boring.
You just said right now. The
I said
begin-
my girlfriend. My girlfriend thought it. The
but
beginning
you
was
said it
interesting.
in a way like you agree with it.
No, I'm just saying, like, she also thought it was a boring movie, and this is why. So
'Cause
I
the
thought it was a
beginning.
boring movie, and then this is why.
For different reasons, not the
For different
beginning.
reasons, yeah. Doesn't matter. Gus fell asleep.
Oh my god.
Leslie thought it was a boring movie. I thought it was
Oh my god.
boring. I mean, you gotta admit it was a slow movie, all right?
Slow
It's a very
pace
slow paced movie, yeah.
doesn't mean boring. Slow pace is way
For
different
sure.
than boring.
For sure, you're right. To me, it was a very slow pace and it was boring. Yeah, I
Alright.
like slow
Quentin
paced
Tarantino
movies.
movies are slow pace.
For sure, and they're not boring.
That's
They're
debatable.
not boring to me.
But
Okay, so
okay.
why are you asking me to admit that it's a slow paced movie?
Because that gives it.
No,
it-
because now
the
you're
chance
saying
of-
that they're saying it's boring because of that.
it
then.
can be boring. Like being a slow paced movie.
But a
it
fast paced
has-
movie could be boring too. Then.
For sure. For sure.
So then,
But
it being slow
I
paced has
guess
nothing
he's
to do with
saying it has
anything.
a higher
It's
chance
like a
of it
double
being-
whammy. It's like a double whammy if it's slow paced and it's boring. It's a tough watch, man. Like this movie was a tough watch. Most people watching this.
Dude, I
would
think
not
you're
enjoy this
exaggerating.
movie.
I
Would not enjoy
think-
this movie.
I don't know, man. I feel like maybe you're starting to feel forced to watch
Like
the
none
movies.
of, it wasn't even like.
You're
forced
starting
to
to feel, yeah, because it's different when you're forced to watch a movie and then you just go because you want to go. And,
I
you have free
was
time.
excited to watch this movie, dude. I wasn't in there like, oh man, I gotta watch this movie. No, I was like, all right, cool. It's a Ben Affleck
It
movie.
wasn't that bad. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
I didn't feel
then
forced
you
to
were
watch the
then
movie.
you had a bad day
Hmm.
that day. I don't know.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go
different
ahead
opinion.
and rate it then, I guess.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I mean,
I'll go last
last. Why?
because I'm gonna give it the worst rating.
I mean, you might as well just get it out of the way.
So I'll go for it.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay, that's not as good as I thought you were gonna give it.
I mean, I just don't think it's as bad as
I
you're
was gonna
saying.
give it a 7 as well.
Nah, I'm gonna give it a 6. Yeah,
What?
it's a 6.
You made it sound like you didn't like it way more than us.
it was.
You said it was.
Yeah, I thought you guys were gonna give it like an A or.
You said it was a
7.5.
chore.
It was a chore.
A chore is at least like at most a 4.
Yeah. It seems like it should be a lot lower for you.
Yeah, a 6 is fine. It was
Okay.
All right.
whatever.
All right.
It's like
On to Onward.
All right. I was disappointed with Onward actually.
Really?
What?
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
You're crazy.
It was okay.
You're
It wasn't
crazy.
not that it wasn't good. It was good. It wasn't as fun. Like I'm always Pixar movies make me laugh a lot. There's a lot of funny Pixar movies that make me laugh,
Okay.
and it has to make me laugh a good amount. Like Finding Nemo made me laugh, like crack up.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was all because I was younger. I wasn't even that much younger, but there's some funny as well, like the part with the explosion and the bird farts.
Yeah.
I mean, I laughed. I couldn't stop thinking about that moment for like a week after I saw the movie. Or Incredibles. There's so many things that make me laugh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There's a lot of Pixar movies that just make me laugh a lot. This one, like, there's one scene that I can think of that probably that made me laugh the most, but it wasn't that funny.
Which one?
And the other thing has to be deep, and it wasn't deep until the very end. Like,
Yeah.
at the very end there was a moment, and even then I feel like that moment is more specific towards certain people, because if you're not really in that situation, like I mean, you can still feel it, but it's a lot harder to like understand that situation because you're not in that situation.
You have no heart.
How? I don't know.
That does not have a heart.
That's how I interpret it. Like, again, I said I thought it was deep,
Yeah.
and I felt it, and like I felt emotional, but I definitely felt like some people got it way more than I did, and it wasn't as funny. And the whole first half wasn't emotional. It really wasn't.
Yes.
Huh.
What do you have to say about that? I got a lot to say.
I get where you're coming from.
I'm
as
not saying
far
it's a
as
bad movie, by the
no,
way.
yeah,
I'm not
I get,
saying that.
I get where you're coming from as far as not being able to totally connect with like some of like the theme of the movie.
Yeah,
I
like
guess
the fact that he's
because
absent.
I
absentee
had my
father.
dad. I didn't have a brother, so
Right.
that's like two like
Wow.
major parts of the movie.
Uh-huh.
Like,
True. It was. I meant mostly
I
about like
think-
not having a parent.
Okay, so a couple
Yeah.
things with what Sal said. Well, first, you're comparing it to other Pixar movies, right? Because Pixar movies
Yeah,
have
sure.
set a really, really high standard.
mhm.
that not
I
fair?
think if other Pixar movies didn't exist and you just saw this movie at its own, maybe you
Maybe.
might like it a little bit more.
Maybe.
Which does make sense because I don't put this high on the list of Pixar movies. But Pixar movies are so high
yeah,
for me that
there's not really
they're
any
all
bad
good.
ones.
But
like-
this is a Pixar movie.
For sure. So this would be on the lower
I'm
end of Pixar
confused.
movies, but it's still for
So
me
that's
a
why
really
I'm
good,
disappointed.
a really good movie.
That's why I said I don't think it's a bad movie, but I'm disappointed.
Pixar movies are like
Well,
at
first
a
of all, not all
higher
of them.
level. Most
Not all of them. Cars, I didn't like Cars
the
either.
other one, Cars is
Cars are
way,
the
is
worst.
I don't even consider that a Pixar movie sometimes. I don't even want to think about
Brave,
Cars. Brave was not.
forgettable. Exactly. There's
it
a
was
lot of
forgettable,
wasn't-
but it wasn't bad.
Brave was Pixar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pixar. The Good Dinosaur.
I haven't seen that one. So that's the only
Exactly.
one.
Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of forgettable. People don't care about
Yeah,
Pixar
but
movies.
You
That's
look
not
at
the case with all of them.
You look at all the good Pixar movies, and
Yeah, I'm
this
hoping.
one was definitely better than all the ones you mentioned, except for The Good Dinosaur because I haven't seen it. But so the other thing was, I feel like I was just invested in the whole time since the beginning. Like I thought it was pretty emotional because he was trying to see his dad who he hadn't seen ever, and he wanted to meet him. So that to me, I was like, oh shoot, like he wants to see his dad. That's cool. And his brother wanted to see him as well. Like that to me was carried a lot. Like I was very emotionally invested throughout the whole movie. And when I watch Pixar movies, I don't really go to laugh. I never really think of them as funny movies. So the fact that you have that perspective of it, it's a little strange to me. Because when I see Pixar movies, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get like an emotional roller coaster of like ups and downs, yeah. And that's exactly what happened in this movie. Like, and they're so good at setting it up. Pixar, I love Pixar because they're so good at just building up all this emotion until the very end. It's just like Pixar has the record for making me
It wasn't
cry.
emotional in the first half. In the first,
The fact that they had his dad there, that they were trying to see his dad, like that you didn't.
it was half of body of his dad.
For sure, but they had 24 hours to get a chance to meet his dad, and this whole adventure is him
you
trying
can
to
say
meet his dad.
words. You can say a sentence like that's of course that's emotional, but it's the way it's shown in the movie ultimately, right?
Yeah.
You can say, oh, well, Ben Affleck, he's an alcoholic. He's trying to
Yeah.
bring back a team.
Yeah.
You didn't feel anything, so it doesn't matter what you say. You know, I know
Sure.
it's supposed to be emotional. It was. I don't think it was emotional at all. The first half wasn't. It was fun. It was a fun movie. They were on an adventure.
Sure.
It was not like, it wasn't deep. It wasn't like make me cry emotional.
I
First
I cried several
3
times.
quarters.
7
times.
I cried several times.
Oh.
throughout the movie.
I think my issue with
Are
it
you
was
crying?
Huh?
Just kidding.
Oh. I think my issue with it was that I didn't really find there to be a lot of stakes. Like it never really felt like there was a lot of tension in it, and like they weren't gonna accomplish their goal. Like even when like the things that were bad were happening,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like they were like really against the odds.
I think part
in
of
the
that's
time.
well,
Yeah,
I
I
was
see
gonna
what
say
you
part
mean.
of it because it's a kid movie,
Yeah.
but at the same time, Incredibles, the first one, I felt
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
more excitement, more like
And
they're in danger.
yeah.
I don't
I don't-
though I know it's a kid movie, but
I mean, it wasn't like it took me out of it. It didn't make me not like the movie like less or anything, but it just was. It was noticeable to me that it just didn't feel like they were like really running against the clock, you know? Like until like they decide to like give up on it. That's when it kind of felt like there was a little bit of tension.
That's the other thing. They had 24 hours to talk to meet the dad, right? But because they had a stone, right? Why couldn't you just get into the stone?
That's the whole mission. That was the whole mission.
Yeah.
No.
The whole adventure was them.
Wait. Why couldn't they let this stone run out and then use that other stone all over again?
Oh, to do
For a new
another
24
spell.
hours.
They had only one shot. They said in a note like, use it wisely because you only have one.
Because
one
of the
shot to use
stone.
spell. Probably because of the spell.
You know,
Yeah.
That
And that's like
wasn't
nitpicking though. That's like
How is that nitpicking?
that's
Because
nitpicking.
how's
I
that-
assume that they have one shot for the spell and then that's it.
I mean, I understood that. I didn't understand why though.
yeah.
Because they could have just waited for it to run out and do it again.
You're
It's magic.
I totally get where you're coming from, but God, yeah, that's one of those things where it's just like you just gotta accept it for what it was. Like they assumed that it was just that, so it just had to be that. But to be fair, it was because there was only one of those Phoenix Stones or whatever it was called.
One more?
No, just because they only had one, that was why they could only do the spell one time. Because he even mentions that, like, in the beginning, like, when they first are about to do it, like, oh, in order to do a spell of this, like, level, you'd need a Phoenix Stone. And then he unveils it, and then he finds the Phoenix Stone.
Right.
So, technically speaking, he probably could have just, like, waited that 24 hours and then done it again. But
That's pretty dumb. Because then they can just meet him every day. They can just find
Well,
a bunch
but-
of
you
stones
find a stone.
and just meet him.
Which is how I actually thought. it was
Which
gonna end,
makes
like-
no sense.
well, I mean, they made it seem as though those stones were very hard to find,
Well,
obviously.
Why doesn't
So,
why doesn't it make sense? It's very funny they say that.
Because then people can just live forever. People can just make
And
a
that's-
magic spell to
right.
just like live
And
forever.
that's kind of dumb, right? Magic's kind of, but this movie's based on magic.
Sure.
They bring him back for a day.
Sure, but
That's
it
dumb
would
by
it wouldn't
itself.
make
So
sense. That would be
it's
horrible
not a big
writing.
leap.
That would be.
It's a
that
bigger
was just
leap
terrible.
from like reality to you can bring him back for one day than it is from you can bring back for one day. You can bring back for multiple days.
Sure.
The leap was already
with,
made.
With magic,
to
you
be
can
done.
make whatever rule you want.
Exactly.
Sure, but that's
So it wasn't that
No.
dumb to me.
it seems a little bit.
I
dumb.
see both sides of this here. Like, at the end of the day, we just got to take it for what was presented in the movie.
For sure.
They believe that they could only do it one time.
And they
We
can
just
only
got to
do
leave
one
it like
time.
that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that they could have probably just done it a second time if had they just let that spell run out
And
that
just
first
find
time and
another-
done it a
Just find
second
another
time.
Phoenix Stone and then just meet him again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they made it seem so hard to find one of those stones. I mean, they had this big ass quest and there was only one of them in that spot. So where else would they have even found another one? Doesn't matter. Anyways, let's actually talk about, I guess, the actual movie as opposed to just like
Well,
like what we didn't like about it. I
like
guess.
what we like. and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I liked Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I believe their like chemistry as brothers. I thought that was really cool. I don't think it was like super funny, but there were funny moments to me, but none that were like so stand out that I remember right now either.
Oh, as far as funny
You know?
moments.
Yeah, like
couldn't think
I
of
know
one.
I know
Which
I
one?
laughed throughout the movie, but
Which
I
one-
didn't like.
Which one do you? And maybe this is not the same funny moment. Like it's not.
For
if
me,
it's not
when-
obvious for everybody, then
When they're using the shrinking spell and he shrinks his brother instead of making
wasn't
the
funny.
tank big. And
I
he's like,
thought-
yeah,
you know,
that was funny.
I
That's hilarious to me.
thought There was funny moments like after he was small and like
Mm.
it was kind of kid funny, but it wasn't hilarious. For me, it's like usually one moment where
Yeah.
it's like Hulk punching Thor. Like that's one
Yeah.
moment. It's just hilarious.
Sure.
For me, it was when he picks him up with the van and it's like, oh, it's almost embarrassing, and he bends down and he sees the buck crack.
Wait, what? when he picks him up.
When that's the scene where
Beginning of the movie,
when
like,
most people in the theater laughed. In the beginning of the movie, he's inviting his friends to the, so he's already nervous, and his like older brother comes pick him up with the van, and then like something funny, like, oh, that was almost embarrassing, and then he turns around and he bends over and he sees his butt crack. That part was the funniest part of the whole movie.
I can't believe that was what you did.
Like that's like it's simple, it's random, it's unexpected, and it's like I don't. It's embarrassing. It's actually something embarrassing that could happen. I don't know that. That was the funniest moment.
Wow. All right.
Do you think that fun movie?
I thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was the funniest.
You thought it? You find it funny that I thought it was the funniest moment?
I thought it was funny that you thought it was the funniest moment.
I mean,
again,
it was the funniest moment.
I look back at like Up. I don't think that movie's hilarious.
That movie's
I like
deep,
that movie
way deeper than this one.
For sure.
Way deeper.
For sure. But I never see Pixar movies to be like that funny. Like my favorite Pixar movie is Inside Out. And Inside Out is not, I don't see it funny at all.
Well,
actually.
again, I said I was hoping for one or the other, and a lot of both of them. A lot of one or the other. But obviously, my favorite one.
It was a very balanced movie.
It was very what?
Balanced as far as
like
emotional
I don't think it
and
was.
funny.
It was like nothingness. Like you always like the word that you always use was nothingness. Almost not nothingness, but it wasn't that much nothingness. But it wasn't as deep as I wanted it to be, and it really wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be.
Man, they're trying
Like
to see
Up
his dead dad.
was way deeper than I wanted it to be. Like from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Incredibles to me has both. Finding Nemo has both. Those are my two. Toy Story has both. A lot of Toy Stories have both. They're hilarious and they're deep.
Yeah, I still liked it. I liked it not as much as most Pixar movies, but I enjoyed it more than.
Again, I didn't say I didn't like it.
Most.
At the beginning, I said I liked it. I just said I was disappointed, and now I feel like you think that I don't like it. Disappointed. So you're telling me this is at the level where you thought before you came and watched the movie?
Yeah.
At the exact same level.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like let's assume like being exact is impossible. Are you a little bit below that, a little bit above that?
I didn't think it was gonna be the best Pixar movie going into it.
I didn't think so. I
didn't think it was gonna be like that great of a Pixar movie.
I didn't think that either.
Just because of
it's
how much
below
I love.
average Pixar movie.
For sure, that's what I said.
So that's why I'm gonna. So then why wouldn't you be disappointed?
That's
if
what
it's
I
below
thought.
Average.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
You expect to be a below average Pixar movie.
Only because I really like previous Pixar movies that have come before.
What?
But you also didn't like a lot of them. So that's why there's an average. And that's why you should just assume the average. Why would you assume it'd be below average?
It's below, because below average. Are you talking if we rank all the Pixar movies?
What does average mean?
Average?
That's what average means.
I guess then it's average for me. Yeah. Well, you see, you get the most Pixar movies are on the top end. They're almost all equal to me. They're all really, really good.
You can't have most Pixar movies in the top end because it's
Sure I can.
So hold on.
Can.
So this is kind of like getting into ranking like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because there's only like 3 bad Marvel movies probably, and then the rest of them are either good or really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, like there's not bad ones after that. So I think it's similar with Pixar movies that there's like only like
a
3
few bad ones.
bad ones or
think
something.
I think there's more bad ones than
really
Pixar.
Like really?
I think Marvel has more of a. It's more of a good bet that I'm gonna like the.
Well,
next
actually,
Marvel
no.
The next Pixar movie.
Okay, so I don't like all the Cars movies, so that's already 3
all the
movies.
Cars. I didn't like Brave. I didn't.
Brave
even
was
watch
okay.
I didn't watch Good Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur was okay. But
Everything
yeah, then
else
after
is
that.
amazing, though.
But then again,
all the
like how
both
many?
Finding Nemo's, all the Toy Story ones, Inside
The last
Out,
Toy Story was.
Up,
Well,
WALL-E.
It wasn't bad.
Like
It was-
all
It
those
wasn't
movies are
bad.
amazing.
No, Toy Story 3 was not amazing to me.
Toy Story 3?
I mean, Toy Story 4. The
Oh,
last
I was about to
Toy
say.
Story 3 was amazing.
I was about to
Toy
say,
Story-
like,
Toy
what's
Story
wrong
3,
with
2
you?
and 1 are amazing.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
then Toy Story 4 is just like a good one, but not like it wouldn't be ranked
No,
down with
okay,
Cars
okay.
or.
There's a lot of good Pixar
So-
movies. There's more good Marvel movies.
Nah,
there's
there's
more
a
of
lot
a good. It's more of a.
There's more bad
I can't-
Marvel movies for me. for
No
sure.
way.
Yeah.
More than Cars. Cars was horrible.
Well, Captain Marvel. for
Cars
me
was
is-
nothingness. Was not no
That's how-
emotion
that's how I feel about
and
Captain
no
Marvel.
fun. That's how I feel. Which one?
Captain
Captain
Marvel?
Marvel. Captain Marvel was just.
liked Captain
just
Marvel.
Terrible for me. It was just like.
terrible.
You're just like you're just, okay.
Captain
You're
Marvel
just so
was
anti-feminist, but whatever.
Anti-feminist. What the
Anti-feminist,
heck
yeah.
does that mean? Why would you say that?
Because you said you didn't really like the whole like scene.
I don't like when it's forced. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You see. Sorry.
Yeah, because it takes
It's
me out
gonna
of it.
it's
so
gonna
annoying.
feel
But the
forced
thing
because
is-
it's a female lead.
Yeah,
No,
that's why it
the
feels
whole
forced.
movie wasn't forced to me. There was nothing. There was nothing feminist really about that.
The
Just
fact
that
they
was a
say it
lead
feels
role.
forced.
I don't like it when it's forced.
Yeah. Why is it forced?
There was nothing forced about that movie.
What is forced?
Like when they show all the Avenger female characters, like I got your back, and it's like
Yeah.
one
All the
girl.
girls.
That's
I
forced.
understand where I know. I
It's
knew you were
like okay, producer, hey, let's put this in here to show that
I know
we're
you're
for
gonna say,
women.
but why wasn't it forced when Captain America, Iron Man, Thor came up all together?
When did I do that?
Why is that not forced?
When did I do that?
No, why aren't you saying, hey, that feels forced?
What are you talking about? What scene are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Like right when they go out.
Why when they go up to
fight
Thanos?
Thanos again.
It's just
There
Cap,
was-
Iron Man.
There was
like
the
the
only
main
three
three.
characters. Yeah,
No, those are the main three, right? Those are main. Those are like
Yeah.
the main heads of the Marvel universe.
There
Yes
was
or no?
There was because those were the only three characters that were there. There was just there to fight them. It
So
wasn't
you
like
said about the girls thing, they were over there. That's why they're the other people were over
like
there
you
fighting.
can tell that they literally just decided, hey, let's get all the female characters and let's put them on one scene and let's make this scene.
But the thing
They
is,
didn't do that with Captain. With
the thing
Captain
is,
America.
it feels weird because that never happened.
No, because you can tell that they
No, you could
decided
tell.
to make this
No,
decision.
No, you're right. You're right. It's on purpose.
You
can
can't tell that with Captain America.
You're right.
or
You
another.
can't because it's always like that.
No.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It's always like that.
Yeah,
You're right.
Because that's the way
I-
it is. Sure.
You're
I
right.
never
yeah.
really.
Okay.
All right.
So that's why I have no problem with it.
I never really had a problem with it from
There's
the
no problem
beginning,
with
but
that.
it doesn't matter. We're not talking
It's so
about
dumb.
Marvel movies
Because
here,
they're
anyways.
just,
We're not talking about that. That's not that's not the point.
What are we talking about? Onward? What is
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about Onward
Yeah, we're
here.
talking about
So I don't think Onward is top echelon Pixar, but I think it's better than some of their other good.
Yeah.
I think it's better than
Pixar
their worst movies, but I think it's below average.
Well, see, that's the thing. Well,
Below
where
average is
their
still
average
pretty
is really good.
The
So yeah.
average is really
So
good.
that's the
Below average is still good, which is why
Yeah.
I still like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that still means I'm disappointed.
I mean, I get it.
I mean, it still means I'm disappointed because I expected average. I don't know how that's
I
confusing.
don't know. Like I love Quentin Tarantino movies, right? When
Sure.
a new one comes out,
Already gonna like it.
I'm gonna like it. Just kind of like I'm a little biased just with Pixar, but I don't think it's gonna ever be my favorite one because I already have these other
I
movies.
didn't
that here
say
that are so
okay.
good,
Okay.
and I always feel like nothing can touch these movies. So
Sure.
when a new Quentin Tarantino movie comes out, it's like I'm excited to watch it, but I'm
Mhm.
never really like, ooh, it's gonna blow me out of the water like all the others movies.
I never said
Just
I
like Pixar.
expected blow me out. I expected average. I keep saying the word average like 10 times. I expected. Why is that normal?
It's-
I expected.
It's a weird thing to say average because
Keep going.
average is really really good because there's so many movies.
Yeah, he's not saying it's bad though.
Yeah, I guess so.
I never said it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I
also
expected
like
an average Pixar movie.
I think
I
from
guess
the
so, okay.
beginning I didn't really think of it as a concept that was gonna be that amazing either. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they could have just done this movie with just like regular humans and like take out like a little bit of the
Mm.
fantastical elements and it still would have been like the same movie. Like it
But at the same time, you kind of, I feel like maybe you guys still hope to be a little, or at least I did a little bit too, to be surprised that it'd be, even though the concept wasn't great, because maybe like Inside Out, like okay, you weren't that excited, but you get a little surprised. Or a lot of these movies that surprise you by the end, by the time you finish watching it, like oh, this was actually better than I thought. Didn't happen here. Disappointed. It wasn't better than I thought.
I mean,
It just wasn't better than I
Yeah,
thought.
I guess it didn't.
That's
hit
all that
hard.
has to happen.
I guess the message didn't hit hard with you. I think you didn't even cry at the end when he didn't get to see his dad. Spoiler alert.
I don't think that was the sad part. Or I don't think. Well, first of all, it was emotional. I don't think the emotional part was when he didn't get to see his dad. The
I
emotional
think it
part
was
was when
when
he
he-
realized that his brother, his older
Yeah.
brother,
Yeah,
was
that
a
part.
father
Yeah,
figure.
both
That-
of those were super emotional.
No, that part was way more emotional. Than
Then when he didn't get to see his dad.
yeah, that was.
I
actually
didn't really feel like
because that wasn't the
sad for
point
him
of the
because
movie.
he accepted the fact that like
the point
yeah,
of the
his-
movie that
I was happy that he got to see his brother see his dad, and also sad that he didn't even get to meet his dad.
yeah.
That this whole adventure,
So-
it was like a twist. It was like he wasn't. It was never supposed to be him. It was supposed to be his brother, and the fact that he let
Yeah.
his brother stay behind, like
So me and
That
my
was
sister
that
were
was-
talking about this, and like It makes sense. Like it made sense. Like his older brother should have seen him because his older brother was
For sure.
old enough to remember him.
For sure.
And then he also didn't say
lost
bye
him.
to him.
He remember he
For
saw
sure.
him. He lost him, and he's gonna have a meaningful conversation with him. With the someone who doesn't know it, who
Yeah.
never met his dad. It's really just like meeting a stranger.
For
Meeting
sure.
a stranger.
But imagine getting the chance to meet your dad that you have never met and then giving that up. to let
Again,
someone else in.
again.
That's crazy to
If
me.
it never happened, if it just didn't happen, and okay, maybe it was happening, but they explain like, oh, he realized, no, like,
Oh yeah,
his older brother was.
he
on,
did the
so
right
I was
thing.
okay with it.
He did the right thing for sure. But still, that decision for him to do that was heavy. That was heavy. He had a chance to meet his dad.
First of all,
that
it was
he has
dumb.
never met. That's
Because they
crazy.
should have let the timer run out, and they should have used that rock to do another.
You're
do
ridiculous.
another spell
Yeah,
another
that's-
day. That's
that-
what they really should have done.
yeah,
But all
that's
right.
I was gonna say
No.
something.
No. I don't even
I
think.
forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it.
About emotional. Maybe you're emotional a different part.
Yeah, I
What was the
was.
most
I don't
emotional?
know. I was.
No, I
very
definitely
emotionally
think
invested in this
when
movie.
he told his brother like, oh yeah, you are a screw up, like, and for him to like go
Because
through
he didn't have a
that
dad.
bucket list with them, and then
Huh.
like realize, oh yeah, he was actually this
Uh-huh.
person for me. Then that was obviously I
he-
feel like the
he
highest
was a screw
emotional
up
moment.
because he didn't have a dad.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Wasn't.
Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. So I guess apparently I don't know if you know this about the director like of this film. He and his brother lost their dad as well, and so
Oh,
he wrote
shit.
this as
Was
a
he younger
dedication
brother
to
or
him.
older brother?
I think he was the younger brother, and
Oh,
his
makes
older
sense.
brother didn't know that he was making this movie
That
That
about
makes sense
that.
actually. Because
And
his older
yeah.
brother just grew up
Yeah.
in quotation.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Shoot.
so he made it for
Dude,
them,
Yeah.
and he didn't tell him until he saw the movie.
I think you're
Oh,
okay. I
man.
think you're right. It was a twist that like, oh, he didn't get to see his dad, but that
Yeah.
wasn't the twist. The twist was that
That
it was
his
never
brother
about
was
his
that.
dad.
Yeah,
The movie was not about his dad.
I know.
It was about the brother. So if you,
Exactly.
once you realize that, then it's not sad that he didn't see his dad.
It was still sad the fact that he gave up that opportunity to see. His
Well, I
dad.
mean, yeah,
That to me,
I get
I
it.
don't
Like
think most
obviously, if
people
I
would not
had
gonna do that in real life.
Yeah, I mean, if like I had never met my dad, and I had one chance to meet him, I would obviously want to meet
Yeah.
him. But
like, put yourself in his shoes, man.
I'm not saying. I'm
But-
not saying. Oh, okay, he doesn't care.
yeah,
No, of course not.
I'm saying that wasn't the point anymore at that point in the movie.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't what the movie was about. Like once you realize that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I
it
know,
wasn't
and
that
I
sad.
love
It
that.
wasn't as sad as. Again, I don't
Still
think it was sad.
It was happy and
because
sad at the
it
same
was
time.
it was a happy moment.
It was a
when
happy.
you
It
realized
was
that.
happy and sad. I cried because I was happy and sad, all at the same time.
Mm.
I was happy that his brother got to see his dad. That was cool, and then you didn't get to see his dad. You just like saw them at a distance. Like that
Yeah.
was so yeah.
Okay,
I want to cry just thinking about it.
all right.
I don't know how you guys didn't. I don't know how you weren't emotionally invested in that. That's you have no heart, Sal.
I didn't say it wasn't. I wasn't emotional. I just think the other scene was more emotional than him.
when it.
I don't actually. I agree. I don't think him not seeing his dad was emotional because like, for everything I just said, like
Yeah.
I don't think that was the point of the movie, and I think there's a lot. I mean, I don't know this to be true, but I feel like there's a lot of people who don't see their parents, and a lot of those people like imagine like a superhero dad, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the most perfect person, and it's just. It's never that reality, really. When you just meet them, like they're just a normal person, you know. They're just a dude, you know. So
Mm.
Probably would have been disappointed.
maybe I honestly not disappointed, but it's not like his life would have been made after meeting him. It really wouldn't have. Like it would have just been like meeting a stranger to him, because he was never
for
there.
sure.
He was
Yeah.
never there.
I agree.
So I
Yeah.
don't know if I felt that bad. Like
I agree.
his older brother was there.
He still gave up seeing his dad.
Okay, let's go ahead and rate it. I give this an 8.
I concur. I also give it an 8.
Give it a 7.5.
Okay.
It's pretty
An 8?
pretty even. Yeah.
Dude, you cried several times
cried
and you
several
give it an
Dude,
8?
this movie, Pixar movies always make me cry though. I don't know what it is about cartoon movies. It's Pixar, honestly. They do such a good job making me cry.
Cars made
every
you cry?
time. Cars, nah, I didn't
Made
like
me
Cars.
cry. From how
Shut-
boring it was.
Shut up, bro.
Stupid.
You're stupid. Nah, I
Oh
didn't like
my
Cars.
goodness. All right. Let's see. So we don't know which movie we're gonna see.
I know.
then?
We should decide. Like, let's go to
Let-
Netflix or something.
Well,
Here,
Frozen
I'll
too.
check. I'll check HBO. You guys check Netflix. or Sal, check Amazon.
I think we should. I mean, we're doing this right now.
Yeah,
heck yeah.
This
Why
one's gonna
not?
take forever.
Let's decide.
Well, so is anything at all coming out in theaters this upcoming week or no?
Bloodshot.
Oh, we
guess
could
can
watch
see
at least
Bloodshot.
one of them, and then
I guess we can watch Bloodshot. Amazon, dude. You going to Amazon? Okay, cool.
Bloodshot and what?
Go through Amazon.
No, I'm okay. I don't have.
Do you want to watch some Practical Jokers movie?
No.
I thought
I
about that. I don't
don't
know if you
either.
guys are down for
I'm
that.
not.
I don't think that would be a good
Why
movie
not?
to
Why
talk
not?
about.
How do you rate a prank?
We
Yeah.
can watch
There's
Fast
no
5.
story.
We can catch up to Fast
Fast
and
5's
Furious.
gonna be delayed also.
It's,
Oh,
whole
Fast
year.
5.
We watch Fast 5. I don't think I saw Fast 5.
Fast
Which
Five?
one?
I didn't watch it either.
Fast
Is that-
Five's
Oh,
the
no,
one.
Fast 5's.
I saw Fast
Is
Five.
that the one where
He's-
The Rock has the machine gun at the end?
No,
Fast
that's the
Five
one
is
where he
not with-
shoots the
with
guy,
the
guy
tank,
over
like-
the bridge with the car.
Alex,
He
Fast
launches
5 is the
and
one with
catches
the-
her or
with the
something.
bang, with the vault.
Oh, okay. So Fast and Furious 6 is the one with The Rock breaks his cast at the end. And then gets
right.
like-
No.
I don't know.
Which one's
No,
that
no.
one?
Fast and Furious 6 is the one where The Rock first comes out. No, he comes out in Fast 5.
Yeah.
No, but number 6. No, it's not that. It's not the one you're thinking about. Number 6 is the one with
God, there's so many of them.
I mean, it's on
Which is number
ninth
six?
one.
Number 6 is actually my favorite one.
Which one's number 6?
Number
The
6?
one where The Rock comes out with the machine gun at
No,
the end.
no, that's number 7.
Oh, which? Oh, that's number 7.
That's
That's the
number
one where
7.
he died. Where
The-
Paul Rudd dies, right? Where
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker's not really in the movie.
Yeah.
It's
He's
that's
like
number
there,
7?
but he's not there. He's there for a little bit, I think.
just- oh my god.
Yeah, that's number 7. That's number 7.
Okay.
That's when that one was weird to me because like it was in the back. You couldn't really have fun because in the back of everybody's head. Like,
Okay,
oh.
number 7. So
Number
that one
7.
I fell asleep in. Number 6, I don't remember. Oh, number 6 is the one where they jump across from one building to the
No,
other
that's
building.
number 7.
Oh my god, what's
That's
number
number 7.
6?
Number 6. Okay, remember the bad guy? Number 6 is my favorite bad guy. The bad guy. I don't remember his name, but he's in that little go kart and flipping the cars like as he drives under them.
I think my favorite one is the one with the
Don't
vault,
even
for
know.
sure.
The one after the one with the vault.
Let's
is
watch a
number 6.
let's watch a bad movie and
No,
talk
no,
shit.
no. But number 8 is the one we haven't seen. Is what I'm,
Oh,
is what I'm
okay,
trying to get
number-
at.
So
Or have you seen it?
no, I haven't seen it.
The one with Charlize
And
Theron?
then I want Hobbs and Shaw too is on.
I want to watch Time on the Shop.
Okay,
That's
here.
what, like,
It's
doesn't
fine.
I got a good
yeah,
one. I got
whatever.
a good one.
Wait, it's on Netflix?
I mean, we're gonna watch 9, so I feel like I have to catch up at this point. So I guess in the meantime, we'll start watching all the Fast movies.
Okay, I need to watch.
Like,
You haven't seen any of them?
I've seen 1, 2.
Tokyo Drift?
I haven't seen Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift? That's actually one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that one's a fun one.
That was the most different.
Yeah, that was a
I
fun
saw
one.
Fast 5. I think that's the only ones I've seen.
4?
I don't know if I've seen 4.
I don't know if I'm
Four's
down.
okay.
I don't know if I'm down to go through all these movies.
No,
Fast and Furious
no,
movies.
he has to go through it, not us.
Fuck. All right, I got a suggestion.
No.
Let's watch Hellboy.
No.
Let's talk shit.
No.
Come on.
I got like a 20%
For sure. Let's watch it.
What
and
happened
see how
to
bad
not
it
wanting
is.
to waste your time?
Bro, sometimes bad movies are fun.
You're such a hypocrite, dude.
Sometimes bad movies are fun. Dude, I don't like boring. Like sometimes you can watch a bad movie and it's still kind of like entertaining. But
No, we're talking about. Guys, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
like
man.
Transformers, nah, those are bad. I can't sit through.
Transformers is a fast-paced movie that's
Yeah,
boring.
those are so bad. I can't even.
That's like
anymore.
Transformers, though. Kidding, guys.
Or we can. Have you guys caught up on Casino Royale, Quantum of
Oh, I
Solace?
haven't seen Spectre.
I haven't seen Spectre either, but that also got delayed a year.
A year?
No,
Well, till November.
Yeah, until November.
So pretty much a year.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
I think
When
it's
was it
in
gonna come
November.
out?
Next month.
Oh my
yeah.
god! Why so long? Why did they just found a better
Well-
release
Well,
date?
for them, they depend a lot on their international box office. I
Yeah, and apparently a lot of the Bond films typically come out in November anyway. So
Ah.
it was originally supposed to come out in November, then it got pushed forward until this point, and then it got delayed because of Corona.
Oh, okay.
But I'm down to watch a Bond movie too. I don't know.
I've already seen.
I,
Spectre. You see, we're spending way too much time. Like,
I
I
mean,
just say let's do
Bloodshot
Fast 8.
all right. Let's do Bloodshot. Let's do
and
Bloodshot.
Fast 8.
Bloodshot.
We gotta watch Bloodshot. Why not?
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. If Bloodshot is over 6% Rotten Tomatoes, okay. If it's
6%.
60,
Oh god, no, it's not gonna be over 60.
then why are we watching Bloodshot?
Dude, we gotta watch some bad movies sometime. You know.
What? Okay, you're. Guys, help me out here.
Damn,
I'm
It's
looking
crazy,
it up
right?
right now.
30%. I don't know.
Is it 30%?
I don't know. Never mind.
Dude, I'd rather
But
watch.
it's a 77 for
I
audience.
I still believe.
I'd rather watch I Still Believe.
I know 77 for audience.
I definitely don't want to watch it.
The
I still
audience
believe
is
that
always
looks
full
so
of
bad.
shit.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Dude, coming soon. Oh well, see
Yeah.
all, see all.
I wanted to see what The Way Back got on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like 80%.
You know what we should do? I'm stealing this from the Film Vault though. We should bet on
Scores?
scores on Rotten Tomato scores. Yeah, the Film Vault. They do that every week where they pick a movie and be like, all right, let's try to bet on.
Okay, so what are we watching? Let's just focus here.
We can try to catch up to My Hero Academia. And
Oh,
then,
My Hero
you already
Academia.
I
did.
saw it.
You
It
already
was
did.
so
It
fucking
was so
good.
good, man.
Shut up.
You're stupid.
It was so good, though.
Hey, have you seen Watchmen?
I haven't watched it yet.
Dude.
Oh, I got Brandon to start watching that. He saw the first episode.
How
and he's
how
like,
many
"Thanks."
episodes are there?
There's
8?
8 or 9. Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
not long.
Do you think I can watch it all by next week, and then we could do a
Can we
review
talk
of
about
that?
it? I'm fucking down. I'm down.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I
I don't know
probably
if
do
you
it.
can. You know if you
Yeah.
can.
We'll do Bloodshot.
It's good.
The Way Back at 82%. Yeah, I believe
It's up
that.
to you. Guys.
Yeah, we'll do Watchmen and
Bloodshot.
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 I don't know, man.
What do you want to do, Sal? What do you
I
want
don't
to
want to
do?
watch Bloodshot. I'd rather watch
Fast.
Let's just like get super
either
drunk and
Spectre.
then.
We go Spectre. Well,
Is Spectre on stream?
or we can wait till Spectre. No,
I
I
didn't see
think it is.
Spectre.
Where's Spectre on, Alex?
I didn't see Spectre.
I remember I saw it somewhere.
Let's just watch Spectre then.
I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere because I was about to watch it. But whatever.
Fine.
Spectre, Watchmen series on HBO.
Okay. So no Bloodshot. Let's go watch Bloodshot.
It's at 50%. Why do you want to waste your time? I think
Alright.
you're talking about like
I
those
want to see
like
how bad it is.
there's like those 2%.
Well, it's 77% audience, so it can't be that
Yeah.
bad.
No, but it's right in the middle where it's like it's the worst kind. Like Alex had a point where like
It's a
Those
fun, stupid
two-
movie.
like those two
Just like
5%ers where like they're ridiculously stupid and you can make fun of it.
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, sometimes
L-
I
like
like
Tornado,
to just, I
like
like to just
Sharknado?
go to a movie and just shut down. You know,
I mean,
my brain.
it's probably one of those
Just
movies
watch
where
the
the
movie.
story is really stupid,
Yeah.
but the action scenes might be somewhat cool.
Yeah, who knows? Might be
But-
like John Wick action scenes. Nah,
John
not
Wick
this
was
one.
good though.
Yeah.
Well, John Wick was just good all around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So
alright,
Spectre, Watchmen.
alright,
or
I'll watch
Bloodshot.
Spectre again.
I thought we were doing Watchmen.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Watchmen next week.
Yeah, Watchmen. Sorry, what did I say?
Watchmen and Spectre.
Yeah.
Fuck
Do you Watchmen and Bloodshot or Watchmen
I
and Spectre?
think we should actually do Watchmen and Fast 8 because I think we should do Spectre combined when we watch.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
level 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Build up.
they might. I don't think they'll delay Fast. They're already delaying it, but I don't think they'll delay it as long.
It's a year, isn't it?
007 is a year.
No, Fast
they're-
9's a year. It's not coming out till 2021.
They're moving it to next year now.
Yeah,
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. But I have a feeling that it's all gonna get like turned back. Honestly, when they
Yeah.
start realizing it's
We
not
keep
that big
saying
of a deal.
that, we keep
But
saying
we don't know. We don't know
keep
for sure.
getting worse.
Anyways,
We might have
Fine.
to quarantine for the next
okay.
2 months.
What are we doing? Fast 8,
Bloodshot
Watchmen,
No,
or
okay, Watchmen for sure already.
Watchmen for sure. That's
or
locked
Hobbs
in.
and Shaw?
Lock it in.
Because Hobbs and Shaw
I
is
can't
on
do Hobbs and
HBO.
Shaw without
Yeah.
Without
Oh, okay, then Fast 8 then.
Fast 8. Okay.
Fast
Fine.
8,
Fine.
Yeah, Fast 8.
Fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. We're watching Fast
Fast
and
8.
Furious.
Why
Well,
not
you gotta
Fast-
watch.
Or why not Fast 8 and Hobbs and Shaw?
It doesn't matter because I at this point none of the story matters.
Yeah.
Because the fucking guy that died
Yeah.
twice already is back alive.
It's pretty stupid.
What guy? You talking about Han?
Yeah, Han.
Oh yeah, he did die
it's-
twice.
It's stupid, yeah. But you know what, dude? Honestly, I didn't want to watch the last Fast and Furious, but this one I want to watch just because I'm ridiculous. It looks so
Wait.
ridiculous that I want to watch it.
Wait, the time he died? No, he only died once.
Han died in Tokyo Drift
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
in Fast 5.
How did he die
The-
in Fast 5?
He jumped off the plane or
No,
something.
that was the girl.
Oh, that was
Gal
the girl.
Gadot.
no,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
she
yeah.
died. He died.
No, no,
didn't he?
didn't.
He was
No,
trying to save
he,
her. And
he
she
no, he died at the end of the credits or something.
Yeah,
they
in the- they
it
showed
was
us
still
that.
Tokyo
They showed
Drift,
Tokyo
but
Drift.
it was
They
a
did that
different
once.
angle though.
Yeah. They showed
So-
him dying. They solidified him dying.
Yeah.
He died and they brought him back.
But
it was just
different
so stupid.
angle.
Like how are
Whatever.
They gonna, how are they gonna? I'm
Yeah, they're
How they
not
gonna
gonna
bring
even
him
try to explain
How
it
they
unless they
gonna know how?
cloned him or
He,
something
like,
stupid.
He went like
Underground.
on the ground.
Dude.
Underground.
the
Stupid.
little tunnel thing.
The little,
Like
like,
the sewer.
He went
Dude.
down
Oh
there.
my god.
Dude,
Whatever.
every time that trailer comes on in theaters, I'm fucking holding back my laughter, dude.
Dude, I laugh every
I'm
time,
just
yeah.
like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
But I love it. I love that it's
Yeah,
so
me
stupid.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm
All right. So Fast 8, Watchmen.
Fast and
I'll
Dude,
get
you
started
need to-
on Watchmen.
Watchmen need to
Yeah.
start on that piece.
Yeah, I'll start tonight.
All right.
Or what about
No, we're done. We're done.
Battle Royale.
What? Oh, you're talking about Warzone. Let's talk about
Video game?
Oh, we should stream it.
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Warzone?
I play with him all the time. You never play with me when I'm playing with him. I either play with you or I play with him. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you invite both of us?
Because you're never there when I'm playing with him, or he's never there when I'm playing with you.
It's threes.
Dick. He's so bad though. You
I
never
know.
played a battle royale game. You
gone-
just don't know.
I've
how
gone
to
to
do-
like 5th place.
I've won twice.
You're good.
You've
like-
won twice?
Mm.
Yeah, I just won a couple times. Yeah.
Have you won?
No, I haven't won.
You suck.
No.
Okay. All right. This is for a different thing. All right. We're gonna call it there. Okay. See you
All right.
guys next time. Love y'all. Peace. Bye.